Good evening, viewers. I'm John Boss. Tonight, we turn our attention to the ongoing crisis in Ukraine, where the situation has taken a devastating turn. Over the past 24 hours, Russian airstrikes have unleashed a wave of destruction, claiming civilian lives and leaving the nation reeling. This escalation comes amidst faltering hopes for a U.S.-led peace initiative, spearheaded by President Donald Trump. Trump's peace plan, once seen as a potential pathway to resolution, now faces significant challenges. Critics argue that the plan, heavily influenced by direct talks with Russia, fails to address Ukraine's sovereignty and security concerns. The proposal, which includes controversial concessions such as recognizing Russia's control over Crimea, has been met with resistance from Ukraine and its European allies. As the violence intensifies, questions arise about America's commitment to Ukraine under Trump's leadership. European nations have pledged to continue their support, emphasizing the importance of Ukraine's survival for regional security. However, the prospect of diminished U.S. involvement raises concerns about Ukraine's ability to sustain its defense efforts. As the Russia-Ukraine war rages on, the humanitarian crisis deepens. Overnight, Russian missile strikes targeted Kyiv, resulting in tragic civilian casualties. Reports indicate that at least 8 lives were lost, with over 70 injured, including children. This marks one of the most devastating attacks on the Ukrainian capital this year. Meanwhile, peace negotiations led by the United States appear to be faltering. President Donald Trump has faced criticism for his approach, which some argue favors Russian interests over Ukraine's sovereignty. His proposal to recognize Crimea as Russian territory has been met with strong resistance from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. The international community watches closely as the situation unfolds. European leaders have expressed unwavering support for Ukraine, emphasizing the importance of defending democratic values. However, the lack of consensus on a peace plan raises concerns about the future of the region. A tragic story from France, where a violent attack has shaken the community of Nantes. Earlier today, a 15-year-old student at the Notre Dame de Toutsades High School carried out a stabbing spree, leaving 1 student dead and 3 others injured. The attacker was subdued by teachers before being taken into custody by police. The incident unfolded around midday, with the attacker reportedly targeting students on multiple floors of the school. Authorities have confirmed that the victim who lost their life was a female student, while the injured include 3 male students, 2 of whom are in critical condition. Police have stated that there is no indication of a terrorist motive at this time. The school, a private Catholic institution, has been placed under heavy security as investigators work to determine the circumstances surrounding the attack. Education Minister Elizabeth Bourne and Interior Minister Bruno Retailleau have visited the site to express solidarity with the victims and the school community. Parents and students are grappling with the aftermath of this horrific event, as questions arise about the safety of educational institutions. The latest on the escalating tensions between India and Pakistan, following a tragic attack in the disputed region of Kashmir. The assault, which targeted a group of Indian tourists in the picturesque town of Pahalgam, has left 26 people dead and many others injured. This marks one of the deadliest attacks in the region in recent years, further straining the already fragile relations between the 2 nuclear-armed neighbors. India has accused Pakistan of having cross-border links to the attack, although no concrete evidence has been publicly presented. A previously unknown militant group, calling itself Kashmir Resistance, has claimed responsibility for the assault. In response, the Indian government has taken a series of strong measures, including revoking visas for Pakistani nationals, closing the only functional land border crossing, and suspending a landmark water-sharing treaty that has survived multiple wars between the 2 nations. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has vowed to bring those responsible to justice, stating, "India will identify, track, and punish every terrorist, their handlers, and their backers. We will pursue them to the ends of the earth." His government has also downgraded diplomatic ties with Pakistan, reducing the number of diplomatic staff in both countries and advising Indian citizens to avoid traveling to Pakistan. Pakistan, on the other hand, has denied any involvement in the attack and has condemned India's actions as provocative. In retaliation, Pakistan has closed its airspace to Indian airlines, suspended all trade with India, and warned that any disruption to the Indus Waters Treaty would be considered an act of war. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has emphasized Pakistan's commitment to defending its sovereignty and has called for international intervention to de-escalate the situation. The attack has sparked protests in both countries, with citizens demanding stronger action from their respective governments. The international community is watching closely, fearing that the escalating tensions could lead to a broader conflict. The disputed region of Kashmir, claimed by both India and Pakistan, has long been a flashpoint for violence and unrest, with both sides accusing each other of supporting militant activities. As the situation unfolds, questions remain about the path forward. Will diplomacy prevail, or are we on the brink of another major confrontation between these two nations? Stay tuned to DV Real News TV for the latest updates on this developing story. For now, I'm John Boss. Thank you for watching.